All right, so sushi harvesting for electronic resources usage statistics. It once it's set up, then it's fantastic, and what you can do with the data is really amazing for cost analysis, for collection development, all kinds of cool things. But getting it set up can be monotonous at the very least, and frustrating more likely. So today I will be going over the how to add a sushi vendor, because it is within the acquisitions model. You don't have to really have them set up with PO lines or anything, but it is in there. And how to go through the steps, what you need to add, and then how to test access. Before we take a short break, and then we'll come back and we'll kind of work our way through the major vendors and then some of the smaller vendors, doing troubleshooting along the way. So if you don't have your homework, totally fine. You just may not have the chance to do the troubleshooting with us. I'm hoping that being able to see us do the steps multiple times will help you have an idea of, where perhaps the work can be of the most impact. I will also say that this workshop is focusing on the major vendors for it's just the major, so like just database level stats. There are ways to do serials only stats and ebook only stats, and any ebook stats that we get from this will be because they're on EBSCO or ProQuest, and then any individual journal titles will fall under our smaller vendors. So I am going to go ahead and turn off my camera and start screen sharing. Just give me a moment.
I'm logged into Alma.
Want,
And I know I have permissions. Do you want me to share my screen and you can talk
sure,
me through everything we're doing?
that would be fantastic. Thank you, Kirsty.
Okay, let me just remember where the share screen box is in Zoom because I'm used to Teams at this point.
It should be bottom center if your cursor's on Zoom.
Okay, yes.
Yes, and Elena says licensor as a vendor type should work, and I think that's probably also true because then
yeah, because all of mine that I have the sushi already set up for, I made sure and chose licensor for them. And then once I hit save, that usage tab shows up, and that's where you enter in the sushi stuff.
And then you don't have to mess with the accounts stuff.
It's in the vendor details. Yeah, it's still going to be in that same space, but I did that. I just hit save a couple of times and it made it work.
Cool. Okay, so you have a vendor, and now you go to the usage details tab, usage data. And in that first sushi accounts box, you can now see, when you have the right permissions, the add sushi account. Now, EBSCO is going to be, we're only going to need to add one. But we're going to add release 5 for everybody today because I made sure that everyone I had on my list was. And now here is a fun thing. So sushi account, we actually, rather than typing in a few letters and hitting enter, you want to use the little 3-dot tab like drop down on the right, because then the vendor URL will correctly populate. So select from list, and then you can search in this list, but then it plugs in stuff. Yeah,
oh,
so
that's really handy.
And then if you have multiple campuses or different subscriber sets, you would choose the different ones. Most people won't have to worry about that. Right. And so you can see now that the vendor URL is grayed out and filled in, so then you don't have to worry about having an override URL, and these are the ones that get updated by Ex Libris. Now, for EBSCO, they are going to want a requester ID and a customer ID. Your customer ID is simple enough. It is your institution code. The requester ID is, yeah, a super long string of letters and numbers, and it gets generated from the admin account. And so you put in that.
I went into that a couple of days ago and copied that into the helpful spreadsheet that you gave us.
Yeah, and EBSCO's a pretty easy one to find that, luckily.
And then one question I had, our customer number, does that go in the customer ID field or the
Yes.
customer name field?
Only ID is needed.
Okay.
One of the things that you can use requester name and customer name for is if, so like this requester ID was generated in within your admin account. So I think you can put in like requester name of your name. So then in the future, someone would know like, oh, this is attached to the Kirsty account, not Kirsty account, not the like someone else's. And then for EBSCO, this is all you need. So you hit save first before you try and add anything else or test connection. All right, and now you can click on the EBSCO host or the three dots and go back into it to edit. And then scroll down to the usage report types and you can start adding. So iPads and ACRL have helpful little, oh, use these. My philosophy is pull every single one they offer because the different types of data can be used in different ways. I have a whole spreadsheet of every single one that each vendor provides. EBSCO does PR and PRP1. It does the TRB1, TRB2, TRB3. It does TR J1, J2, J3, J4, and it does DR, D1, D2. So we don't get item report or item report multimedia, which that is why it's important to pull all the other ones, because in order to get item level usage information, you will need to use a different report. And if you're only pulling the IR and are using analytics that only have IR. All right, so let's see which ones we've got in there.
And so I'll mention as I was adding the report types, Alma was basically auto-selecting something from the list, and it was selecting something that I hadn't already selected. So I just went through until it gave me no more selections, if that makes sense.
So you'll see that IR is on here and we know that EBSCO doesn't actually provide those. So check this out, hit save. We should get a pop-up that will say, yep, report type not supported, so they've been deactivated. You can leave them on there if you want, and then you have to go, go.
Wait,
three dots.
Where
edit.
did that? Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
I was already lost.
So if you scroll down, you can leave them in there, but they're now deactivated, so you can also delete them if you want. And it doesn't matter what order you add reports in, so doing it the way that Kirsty did it is also fine. So now that we have some reports and we've got information in here, we can test the connection. If you don't, you can test the connection before you have a report, but I feel like a test is kind of the last little thing that you might catch. So when you hit test connection up at the top, it should then deliver a JSON file, which will open in a browser window. And what that looks like on your own personal computer could be a little different for everybody. And if you just double click on that, it should open up in Firefox, if that's set as the default.
I have nothing set as a default.
Aha, all right. So what you're looking for is service active, true. Yay, it worked. We're good. So,
Exciting.
yeah, so you can close this. And now when we go back to our usage data tab in Alma.
Sorry, okay. That's the window I want.
Yay! We can save, and it'll take us to the back to that vendor. Okay, so now scroll down past the sushi accounts box, and you can see the last uploaded files in there. Looks like from like 2007, 20.
Yeah, I did some manual uploads.
Yeah, so now what you can do is to make sure that they're coming in sorry, and you could scroll back up to the account box, the 3 dots and harvest now. And it should harvest by default the last 12 months. So if you're looking for a different time period, you can do a custom harvest. But that first one will bring in the last 12 months. You can obviously go to admin and monitor job, or you can just, like refresh a couple times, and it'll usually pop up. This initial load should, if it works, take a few minutes because it is pulling in 12 months of reports, and we're pulling in, like, what is it, 14 reports. So the fact that it's taking a minute is a good sign.
Some of mine show that they were fully processed, like from ones I tested before. And some of them, it tells me that they're, oh God, let me see if I can get the exact wording over here of how it says. It's something like there's no, it says no usage available for requested dates. Does that just mean that like there's nothing in that report?
Yes, and that could be because, well, it depends on the vendor and the type of report. Like, which one are you looking at?
Oh, it was my EBSCO host, and it was DR_D2.
Okay, so that is, if I am remembering correctly, actual turnaways. So,
oh, okay.
Yeah, don't even have to worry
then.
about that one.
Okay, good. I was like, I don't understand why that didn't. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're more likely to get the DRD2s and the TRB2s and the TRJ2s on, like nature, science, what is the Springer stuff, or like Elsevier, that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay. Cool.
There was some discussion on the Alma list. I forget exactly when. There are a couple of folks who have some reports that they check on a regular basis that show them when the sushi harvest failed. And I can share that information.
Oh, yeah. So there's a cool screen, and yeah, if you remember off the top of your head where it's at.
Well, when I have my admin dashboard, I have a thing that tells me the status of the jobs. And if I see a red exclamation point, 9 times out of 10, that tells me a sushi job failed. And then I
Yeah.
can look and see which one it was.
So if you want to check it, it's not super intuitive, because what you do is you go to the vendor usage data tab and you actually have to click on upload data, and then it will give you the screen where you can see which reports have come in and which have not.
So talk me through
Okay,
that.
so acquisitions.
So we're gonna go look at our vendor, right?
Yeah, yeah. Usage data, and now very not intuitively scroll down and upload file
Is it
to acquisitions. And even though it has to do with vendors, it is actually its own little thing, and that is under import, and you go to load usage data. So acquisitions, import, load, and then you can see the uploaded files and you can see the success rate of each one, but you can also go into monthly, and here's where you get a nice little graphic of, like, was it successful? Why wasn't it? Uh, like, did it work? Okay, I am clicking here. Thanks, Alma. But yeah, so then you can see which, so like if you've got one that's coming in and it's all red, you can say, okay, what's going on with that particular report for that vendor? So again, acquisitions, import, load usage data, as opposed to job history. Now, the other part of this is making sure to schedule the sushi harvesting, because if it is not scheduled, you will just be going in and having to manually run harvest now. And go in and go to configuration, acquisitions, and configure acquisition. Is that what it says? Acquisitions general, and then it should be there. Config acquisitions general. There it is. It was hiding. Acquisition jobs configuration. So we don't care about PO line. Sushi harvesting, you'll want to hit active. You can also add an email notification for yourself to monitor it. The options are pretty set. It's basically like once a week. And I would, like, it doesn't really matter. Most vendors should have the previous month's usage um, available by the 10th. It kind of depends on your contract with them. 25th, if you're trying to get a report out, could be late for you if you're expected to have it ready on the 1st, and it's obviously not going to include the month that you're running. I recommend the 11th or the 18th, because then you should get the previous month's usage no problem, and still have plenty of time to get it together for the next month if you're looking at something like that. So make sure that sushi harvesting job is active, pick your day, and then save. And once you've scheduled it, it should then come in much like the way that you've seen it in your Harvest Now option. So, very, very high level summary is create the vendor, add the sushi account, add reports, test connection, activate sushi harvesting job. Unfortunately, as we've seen, any number of things can get in the way of that, and it requires going to quite a few different areas of Alma to get that all set up. So, any questions on the overview? Let me share. This one was this presentation from the Galileo like virtual sessions thing was really good. The first part was kind of talking about their project, but then she goes into setting it up. So it's a good review. So I can share this with you guys. And then this one has a lot of detail and screenshot. And then here is what I will share with you so that you can go through and start setting things up. So I, using the active electronic collections list for all the institutions and the Ex Libris sushi vendor list, went through and then checked all of these on Counter Project to get the like admin portal URL if it was like kind of weird and not what you would expect. Highlighted the required fields for each vendor and what it would look like or what it might be called, and then also recorded all of the reports that are available for that vendor. Apparently Highwire didn't get saved. But the trickiest things a lot of time is, so like if you have content from a vendor, but perhaps it's only open access content, you won't have an admin login, so you can't get that, like that specific user data.
How about you share your screen and let's take a look at Gale and see what might be going on with that one.
Which one is this one? Yep. Okay. Yeah, right now it's not pulling anything out of the global report.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go into the sushi account and edit. Okay, we've got our phones. All right, and scroll up to the top. So the, okay, requester ID. So let me check on what your, so your requester ID should start generally with WSI/ and then the Big Bend CC.
Okay. I don't think I set this one up. I think it was just already here.
Yeah, so let's see if changing requester ID.
Okay.
And it should just be, hold on, let me look it up real quick. The requester ID should be this that I just put in chat. And then your customer ID does look correct.
Okay. Okay. Any other changes?
Doesn't
Just go ahead
look
and hit
like
save.
it. Go ahead and save and then test connection. Yeah, we should get that JSON.
I have service active true.
All right, so let's go in and do a harvest now.
Okay.
Yeah, so sorry, back,
Okay.
yeah. And then it should be under the 3 dots to the right of the account line. Yeah.
Yes.
Will the harvest now automatically harvest 12 months worth?
That's a good question.
Today completed successfully.
Cool. Well, and it says records processed. The other way we can check this is under acquisitions and the upload under import load usage data.
Okay.
And monthly usage data up at the top, the second tab. And then we can actually filter this one by platform.
Much better.
Yeah.
That is a lot better.
Woohoo.
All right.
All right. I might start with technical difficulties, but I end with green check marks.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. So, yeah, and then info base, that is a real goofy one.
Yeah, I think we've had there's some nursing on demand films. There's some things going on with the subscription. So I'm going to wait till I find out for sure what is happening.
Okay. Yeah, and the thing about InfoBase is they don't really provide a ton of information anywhere. They don't do journal reports. They do platform, database, and book, but also item level. So they do have the IRM1. But unfortunately, I think what I did with InfoBase was I went into our admin, downloaded their Counter 5 report and uploaded it because they do that like minutes watched and a bunch of other stuff that's not Counter 5 at all. So
Okay.
that's an annoying one. Okay. Elena or Kim, do you have a vendor that you'd like to walk through the setup on?
Yeah, I would love to walk through the setup on our Alexander Street. Because it consistently fails. And I thought I had switched it over to like the ProQuest, because ProQuest like bought them out, but it's a hot mess. It's like a nightmare.
Yeah,
It keeps
let's look at
failing.
it.
Yeah, I can't figure it out. Do you want me to share my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Elena, I'm in a fight with Alexander Street Press right now because I need an admin account that will let me view use stats for all 3 libraries.
Yeah.
And they keep saying, no, we can only set up one institution for one email address. And I'm like, I don't have 3 email addresses.
Yeah. No. So you can see like it keeps it's failed all the way down the line. It's horrible. And I don't, yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna. So uh, that is not the counter stuff.
Oh wait, what do you want me to show?
I'm trying to look. Sorry, I wasn't saying that to you. I was trying to.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the customer ID, that looks right. It's the 5-digit. And then the requester ID should be the only other thing that you need.
Oh, okay. I don't need like the password or anything like that.
So I think
okay.
you can get rid of username and requester email even.
Okay, great. Okay.
And let's save and test connection because the requester ID is generated based on the username. So all
Okay.
that gets embed. Pardon me.
Okay, let me test my connection. I did it a few minutes ago, but now I'm gonna look at it now. Oh, okay, that's good. True.
Yeah, that's positive.
Okay, should I try to run one?
Yeah, so save and then it'll go back out and you can do the 3 dots and harvest now.
Okay.
Yep.
And that's the other thing with these kind of well, like we've got a lot of things with Alexander Street, but I just don't know what reports. I guess I need to really.
Yeah, so they do the DRD one, the IRM one, and the PR and PRP one, and that's it.
That's it. Okay, so the ones I have are okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's covering everything that they provide.
Okay.
So let's see. You did the harvest now, so let's see if it worked. You can go to acquisitions, import, and load.
Load usage data.
And it shouldn't have taken that long because it's not that many. And then check the monthly usage data, but it may not be done yet. Is that today?
Wow, that's Credo. Holy cow. I got a lot of yellow ones.
Oh yeah, okay. So we can
Holy moly. August and September are the only ones where it worked. And then, but I haven't, oh man, I don't even know.
Yeah, we can filter by platform and see if oh,
by platform.
And
where is my oh, here it is. Search.Alexander Street. Wait, didn't I do that?
Okay. Yeah, why didn't it like it? There we go.
There it is. Oh no. See, oh no, that's not good. Okay, wait. So September.
So it looks like they don't have September data ready yet then. That's the only problem.
Is that it?
Yep. Otherwise, it looks like it brought in the whole last year.
Okay.
Like it brought in August back.
Yeah. Okay. That's okay, so that's good. So that's interesting.
But let's
How do
look
you
at
how do you know
Credo.
what those exclamation points are? Is there a way to look from here to see what
Yeah,
the
it should be giving us more information. Like it should say in there like no usage or like data not available yet. So I don't know why it's not doing anything.
Yeah, it's like I click on it and I get this empty
Blank.
box.
Yeah. I wonder if in job history you could look at events and
Oh,
monitor under monitor jobs.
yeah. Oh, sushi harvesting completed with errors. Oh,
So I got this with the EBSCO. Go all the way down to the Sushi Harvest Report tab and expand that.
Yeah, so it's just saying there's no valid report
oh,
for
okay.
X date, and it's like September of this month or this
Oh,
year.
okay. So that means I just didn't have anything. It doesn't mean that I put in something that's invalid.
Right. It's yeah, it's just
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
So they
All
just,
right,
it's
cool.
not on the server, I guess.
Okay. Well, I'll just wait for that. Okay, so then what was the other thing we were gonna do? Or was Credo? Yeah, it was something wrong with Credo. It was
yeah,
so
let's take a look at that one. So Credo, the requester ID. This is one that I really don't like because you actually have to put in your
Well, and what's interesting is that down here on October 7th, something ran and it was fully processed. Ooh, I don't even know.
let's go into the job history again, because it seems like it's connecting okay. It's
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Do you want me to look at how I have it set up here to make sure I didn't put in something
yeah,
extra?
so my info from Credo actually says that you should only need requester ID and customer ID,
Okay.
and that requester ID should be the admin username and password separated with the upright pipeline thing.
Oh, for Credo. Okay, wait. I'm gonna cancel out what I just did because I just deleted something I think I might need.
Okay.
Oh my
And I'm
God.
gonna pause the recording so that
Yeah.
so yes, if you have vendors who are not on the sushi vendor lists for the automatic harvesting with Ex Libris, which the link is going into chat right now, you can still create a sushi account for them. You just won't be doing the automated job, and then you can upload files and it will be integrated into electronic usage reports.
And in that case, you don't have to create a sushi account. You can just go into the usage
data and
tab
upload the file.
and upload.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
upload the file.
you download
Okay,
the file
so
to your
so
local computer
upload file
first.
and then it would go from there. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. That's great. That will be really awesome. So I need to figure out, I actually need to go through like all of our vendors because I feel like there's been so much consolidation that I don't know like what is hanging out there and is still independent and what has been like rolled into ProQuest or Infobase or anything like that. And so I need to just sit down with all of our databases and figure that out.
Yeah, and
So
the
cool. So thank you.
it's a little frustrating because Ex Libris doesn't provide the sushi vendor list as an Excel sheet. It's just a
Oh,
web page.
okay. Yeah.